Hey, what is up, guys? This is Kata, or Catastrophics here, and in today's video, I will be commentating over a CP Joule gameplay. Uh, uh, Mainly, I don't prefer to commentate over a actual game live unless I'll be playing with my guild members and using Discord at the same time. But over games like this, I'll be happy to commentate over them as long as I'm with, or as long as I'm not playing, or let me say this again, as long as I'm not using Discord. That's only because my mic quality while I'm playing Vainglory and using this application is not so great, and I wouldn't like to commentate over it. And not only that, I'll have more to say if I'm, on Discord with some guildmates. So we're just gonna start off here with a crystal bit, and we're gonna go into the jungle and start taking our jungle, but I don't know if this is how you actually take the backs. Like people say that this speeds up the clear. I don't know. I don't know if that's for like only certain characters or for everyone, but sometimes I really don't see a difference. I guess it just really depends on some characters or whatever characters you use. Uh, Earlier he did steal one of my backs. That's why he put the sad face. But that was all okay. It didn't really do too much to affect me. Sure, it did do a lot, but either way, I was still gonna get only two crystal bits from that. The Vox is actually pretty bad in the lane. Not bad in the way that he is not usable anymore, but bad in the way that he's actually. I want to say, I don't know if Vox has always been meta. I mean, maybe there was at some point where he last update where he wasn't being used as much, but Resonance really does hurt this update because I don't know what they did to it. I think it hurts your secondary target a lot more because not even now you have to be hit by the Resonance in order for it to actually affect you. But all you really need to do is be around those who are affected by it. And in group fights, or team fights, I should say, that's going to be a really big issue. So that's why Vox has been such an issue lately. I'm not gonna go to shot because I don't want them to put any damage into the turret. So I'm gonna go up here and keep it safe and maybe take a few of his minions. He did like say, "Oh, watch out" and all this, and really, the minions were just gonna die. So I don't think it would have mattered if or it wouldn't have mattered really. If, I don't know what he was thinking when he said that, and I don't think he was like aware that, oh well, maybe they'll die, or he didn't really think that through. I'm just gonna I want to go for Frostburn first, because I don't plan on getting tier 2 boots until I get really good damage, and most of my damage is going to come from my Broken Myth. Now, once I get my Broken Myth, I'll be doing a lot more damage, and be able to help out my team a lot more with my big red button. And therefore, that's why I get the Frostburn to slow them down, that way I can stay close to them. They do have a Kestrel as well, but the Kestrel wasn't really. I don't know. She wasn't really an issue for us. Right there, I did mess up a lightning strike. That was just me though. I wanted to try and jump on her, but it was way out of my range. So I decided not to. Here I get my Eclipse Prism to get closer to that Shadow Glass, and then after I take these fronts, I'm gonna head up and we're going to go see what I can do in the lane. Kestrel and Kestrel just were in a fight, and their Kestrel won. They are playing a Lance, and oh, and here I use a jump to get out. I feel like I could have put that to better use if I had jumped on them, but I'm not sure. Better safe than sorry. As I was saying about Lance, Lance is actually pretty fun. I've only played him in Battle Royale, and that was because I've gotten him, randomly. And you know what? I'm not sure why I got pinged here. If you guys can really like go back and watch why I was pinged, that would really help. Because I really don't know what she pinged me for. I didn't take any of her minions. Or maybe she wanted me to take them. I don't know. I don't know why I got pinged. Anyway, so we're just taking our minion mine here. And as I was talking about Lance, Lance is really fun. He's a really fun character because, he kind of brings a different, you know, he changes the game. He takes roaming to a different level, and roaming isn't really the same with him. It's you have more to do, and you have more of a contribution to to your team to help out your team. You're like, as Lance, the definition of a support. You have the pushback, you have, all this, and a stun, and that's basically what, you're really looking for in any support player or roamer. Here I can't remember what we were actually trying to do, but I want to say we do pick up a kill, either the Vox or the Kestrel. I really can't remember. But we're putting some damage into the Kestrel. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we kill her here, no doubt. I do pick up the Kestrel. And now we're just gonna head down and go to farm. I tried telling her to watch out so she doesn't get herself gang killed or none of that. I'm just gonna start taking this regen, and then he's probably gonna follow up after that. Yeah, so he folds up, and now we're gonna take these fronts. And the box did pick up the Kestrel. I don't know, our Kestrel, I feel like she could have kept her distance a little bit more from the Vox. Because the Vox, like I said, people are not used to seeing the Vox and actually like, oh look, Vox, let's poke him. Vox is actually going to be poking you, and now, I mean, it's a good thing, I guess, now that they've done something with Vox to make him actually like a a meta hero now again. But I feel like they've done too much with it. I know they minimized the basic attacks, so they no longer do crystal damage. But even then, I feel like that's not really a nerf, but more of a buff now that they've added the extra damage to residents. And during the team fights, that just does a whole lot of damage, and that really hurts because it's just the damage is really just bouncing off to like everyone. Here, they were stuck down there trying to expect a fight from us, so we thought it would be smart to just push turn, which it was. And I do get a good jump here. I stunned two of them, and my ult wasn't great, but I did get most of the damage into the Kestrel, and we end up picking up all the kills. The Kestrel did get most of those kills, though, so that's what really disappointed me. But you know what? It was still our team that got the kill, so I really can't complain. Right here we're going to take Gold Miner, and after this I believe I'm going to go take what jungle I possibly can. Uh, well, the Kestrel and I are. So I'm going to take these fronts, and then from these fronts we're going to start working towards our Broken Myth more. Once we get our Broken Myth, we'll be dealing a lot more damage. Now here's something that our forces failed to do. Ultimega is, by the way, a member in our guild, iC0N, and was, I mean, he put some vision. He just didn't put a whole lot. He kind of put them in obvious places. Uh, I knew we were gonna get the Kestrel, so why waste my time? I decided to switch sides and or direction and go for the Vox, but I ended up losing the Vox. I liked how that happened. How the Kestrels both shot their ult, and they both kind of crossed each other. I thought that was pretty good. I decided to jump back, and I missed the stun, but I do pick up the Kestrel. The Vox, he left, so he wasn't able to pick me up. Otherwise, at least I would have probably died. The renewal did come a little late, so maybe if the Vox was there, I definitely would have died because that renewal was nowhere to be, used while I was fighting the Kestrel. But I was still alive, and for that I was happy. Here we're just gonna continue taking some of the jungle, and I'm gonna take these fronts. They're gonna try and put pressure on the lane as much as they can, it seems. But I'm here trying to get as fed as I possibly can. Um, what do you guys think? Do you think I feel like putting some attack speed with the Joule really helps, just because her clear is really bad, and if she were to have an alternating current as an actual in her actual build, which it could be, then it would be a ton better because her clear is really terrible. Really, all Jewel is good for is her ult, and because really it melts, it really does melt. Here I did a terrible ult. I was hoping the Lance was gonna walk to the left, but he just kept walking straight, which is really unfortunate. The Kestrel did land a snipe, but it didn't do too much damage, nor did it scare us off. So we're just gonna try and kind of apply pressure to the lane and I wanted to go get my bags. So, but first I chose to take their farm, but I they decided to come in and try and rush us a little bit, and I think it worked for the most part. Because I die, I kind of just decided to jump in the middle of all of that. Now, at this time, it would have been good to have communication. I didn't have no communication, so I couldn't let my team know that I was jumping in. The Kestrel seemed to think that, the loss of that team battle was because of the fortress. It wasn't, at least I don't think so, because the fortress really couldn't have done anything to help other than kill himself, which would not have helped. So here I'm gonna come down and get my bags, and after that I should. No, I'm close to getting my broken myth at this point, but I still won't have enough. I attempt to get the gold miner, but even that didn't go so well. My jump was just timed so terribly, and yeah, you can always like see. He did waste his ult there, which was pretty good. That way we won't have to worry about a silence. And I was trying to tell the fortress to back off because really he was shopping with, you know, the full team in the opposite bush, and he just decided to continue shopping. Uh, they really, they were really a really an aggressive team, which was good, but it never really gave me a time to farm. So I decided to just tell him, you know what, back off. I need a farm, and that's what I decided to do. And once I did this, I still don't have enough for broken myth. I think it was after one more team fight that I decided to get my broken myth, and then after that, then we should be good. The Vox does go AFK in at this point, which is really bad for them. And I almost feel sorry for them. I didn't add them, nor did they add me, which was actually kind of weird because usually when people see icon members, they tend to add them sometimes just to see our rank or just because it would, it's cool to have an icon member as a friend. The all I knew she wasn't gonna survive it because of how much shield she hasn't gotten, or she hasn't gotten any shield. I wanted to slow down the lands to try and take him out, but I knew that wasn't gonna happen. So I moved down and we tried seeing if their backs are up, which they aren't. And we go for the minion miner. Their backs do go up right now, and we do transition over to that, I believe. And then after this, I will end up getting my broken myth. Yeah, so the backs were up just now, and I just do a random jump. Waste what energy I have left. Uh, really, Joule, her energy is used up a lot, so really Joule is good for one good fight with her ult, and after that, really you're just poking little by little with your lightning strikes because they don't do a ton of damage depending on if your if the opposing team has shield, and if they don't, then you're in luck because the lightning strike does do a decent amount of damage as a CP Joule. That's why I feel weapon power Joule is uh, more viable and more reliable as well because uh, really a weapon power Joule can just shred through anything in my opinion. Obviously the ult cannot, but at close quarters it's really good just depending on what kind of weapon power Joule you're planning on building. And it was at this point where we knew that the Kestrel was alone, so we decided to go up. And I did land my ult, but I wasn't sure. And the only way to figure out if I actually did was to, do a lightning strike to the right of me where I believed to have thunder. And I did land my ult on her. I stunned the lands, and we back off. I think we maybe could have tanked it. I'm not sure. But we didn't take the risk, so instead we're just gonna come back down and take this minion miner. And this caster decides to take the minion miner alone, which is a pretty close call for her because she almost died taking it. She doesn't have a whole lot of health, so but she does have the attack damage to take it fast enough, especially with her arrows. I don't know exactly what the ability is called, but I know it has enough. It can pack a punch in order to take that gold miner. You can see here she almost dies by the minions, including the gold miner she took all that damage from. But luckily she doesn't. I'm finally gonna get some tier 2 boots and keep up with the Kestrel or the Lance, whichever I may need to. And at this point, it's really GG because they don't have a box, which is kind of their damage dealer. The Vox, all he has is an alternating current with a heavy prism, I believe, and a I forgot what the shard was called, but he was leading to a Broken Myth. I'm sorry, I kind of forget the names of the. You know, I forgot the name of that too. Anyway, uh, so at this point, the Kestrel and the Lance are in the lane. We could have fought them. I just don't know why. I guess we were expecting them to come down. Then and again, like I said, we had no communication, so I wasn't able to tell them or tell anyone what we wanted to do. The Fortress thought that it would be good to use the ultimate. I don't know if that was worth it. Really, it wasn't. Obviously, I guess he just wanted to. He had a hunch that they were in the bush. He's wasting his energy taking the Kraken before it's even actually fully up, which I found kind of funny. And you'll see this damage, that I believe Omega takes after he was hit by the ult of the Kestrel. I thought it was pretty insane. It was the Kestrel that got hit with it. At the end of the match, we'll see how much shield or armor the Kestrel got, because we were going against a weapon power Kestrel, and that weapon power Kestrel seemed to do a ton of damage to our Kestrel. So I'll just see if either of the Kestrels got any sort of armor or shield to counter me or one another. Most likely it didn't, because the Kestrel really just died by my ult instantly. Uh, in a few moments you'll be able to see. The Lance is just sitting there trying to look like a total badass, which actually kind of worked. He did look kind of cool. He was like trying to guard it. Um, we're the Kestrels are kind of poking each other, which I found kind of funny. I wanted to just see what happens to see who would win, but then obviously, what kind of teammate would that make me? And I saw an open opportunity to kill the Kestrel to get the ace. I think it's an ace, even if no, it's not an ace. I guess the box was kind of still in the game. He didn't really get announced that he was kicked out, or I just don't know how the aces work once you get an AFK. So this is basically GG, guys. I this was, I guess it was basically GG once the box was AFK, but it still counts as a good one to me. It was still a good game. I had fun with this commentary, guys. If you guys want me to do more of these in the future, you got please let me know. This is a new channel, so any feedback is welcome, negative or positive. It gives me an opportunity to overthink things, and it gives me, you know, opportunities to overlook my channel and see where I can improve. And obviously, I know there's many things I can improve on. But for now, like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace. But you know what? It was still our team.